Hello and welcome. I'm Jenny Hall. Thanks for joining me for another card making tutorial. Today I am creating with Watercolor Christmas Card Kit and the Watercolor Christmas Stamp Set. I'm creating the cards as they were intended, and I'm creating 6 different alternative ideas to share with you in this video. I first am going to take a look at what's included in the kit. The kit is purchased separate from the stamp set, but the kit comes complete with everything you need to create the cards. Just add your own ink. Instructions are included to make each card with a diagram, and each card has an envelope and a fancy envelope liner. I love envelope liners. They're just way over the top for me. I don't know what makes me want to squeal and grin about it, but envelope liners are super special. All of the pieces are perforated in advance, so you just add a little force and they'll pop right off the paper. And there's 4 different card bases as well. Really nice card kit. The first thing I did was to create 1 card of each style just as it's intended from the designers, and they do make beautiful cards. Here's a look at card number 1. To create this card, I used 2 different card bases. First, I took the watercolor looks like watercolor wash card base, and I also used the card base that looks like a wreath, and I cut that up, fussy cut out the wreath, and now I'm stamping my sentiment onto the back part. So I'm using the card base in 2 different ways. I'm using my 2-inch circle punch to punch out the sentiment, and I'll be adhering all of these pieces down, just very simple and quick. Using what I already had in the card kit in a different way is just one more way to get a little bit of variation. Sometimes when working with a card kit, it's a lot of fun to not have to think about it and make it the way it's intended. Other times, it's good to stretch your imagination. The card kit also comes with some mini gold sequin trim. A lot of fun. Card number 2 is created by adding a little bit of extra paper to the project. I'm using the card base that has 2 different designs on different sides, and one of the images that is meant to be stamped as part of the kit I've turned over. It's already a pre-cut rectangle, and I'm going to use it as a layer. I have already off camera pre-embossed the sentiment in gold onto the Wood Textures Designer Series paper. The leaf punch works perfectly to punch out some gold foil accents from one of those envelope liners. In fact, I can use that one envelope liner a lot of different projects and get a lot more mileage out of it. It's a very pretty shiny gold color. So by adding just a few leaf accents with my heat embossed sentiment, this makes a very quick card project, and it's eye-catching without being a little too over the top. This is a fun way that I enjoyed making this card. The next card project is really cute and extremely quick to finish off. I'm using the red card base, and I've got another one of those little squares, and I'm just using some basic black ink to stamp the largest sentiment from Watercolor Christmas. Grabbing a different ink pad, which is Emerald Envy, I'm using one of the small stamps from Watercolor Christmas and adding just a little tree to each side. This is going to create a very simple scene, nothing really fancy. Adding some liquid glue just in some of the bare bone areas of the tree is going to give me enough area to adhere some glitter. Glitter is a very affordable and a really eye-catching element to add to a handmade card. It's oftentimes overlooked. My children remind me constantly about the simple joy of adding glitter to different projects. So I'm trying to expand my glitter horizons just a little bit more these days with my kids. Adding some more of those mini gold sequins that are pulled away from the string is just enough to look like stars. The next project is step up just a little bit. I've got another red card base and I'm going to cut up another one of those really pretty laurel wreaths. Now this little wreath is very pretty and so well colored and drawn that I feel like it should deserve more than just sitting on the card, that it should be a feature. So I'm pulling out that same envelope liner, cutting some square edges on it, and getting a couple of strips to just lay in underneath the little panel with the wreath. Another one of those pre-perforated sentiment holders, and I'm adding a sentiment that is created exactly to fit on it. A little dauber with some of that same Emerald Envy ink is just enough color to break up all of the white on white, because it's a little worrisome when I add white on top of another white area without dividing the colors. So just a little sponging and then some liquid glue to put those beautiful foil strips just under the edge of the wreath panel. And this card is done. This is another way that you can use the same supplies from the kit. It's creative and you can get a couple of different looks from this particular design. Here's one of my favorites. I'm using the Joy sentiment again, and this time I'm using the opposite side of that card base that has the stripes on the other side and a solid green base on the other. So I thought it would be nice to use the opposite side this time. Some of those pre-perforated leaves, the little holly leaves and the holly berries, just pop them out with my thumb and they're ready to be used. Using the glitter again, my children, they just look at the glitter and they can't resist touching it. It's just overwhelming urge. But I'm going to pull the glitter back out and add just a little mound of glitter and then coat the outside edge of this circle. This is not anything new that anybody has never seen before, but my children are constantly inspiring me in my crafting, and the simplicity of my pre-K and my first grader are they're coming out in my creative life. Just add glitter to so many simple projects and it gives just a little bit of step up. So by adding the glitter to this simple circle, it gives just a little something extra and it makes me happy and smile. So the last card that I designed from the kit supplies is a shaker card. This is the quickest shaker tutorial that you probably have ever seen. I'm taking one of those perforated circles and cutting an inner circle out. Here comes that little tree stamp again, and I grabbed some fabulous foil designer acetate. That is going to allow something to hold the glitter inside. So I trim it down and attach it to the back side of what we're going to see from the front of the card, which is that little circle. Just attach it with any kind of adhesive that'll keep the acetate in place. Now the foam strips go around in the circle because it's a circle design, just anywhere underneath to where they're not going to be seen from the front of the card. Once they are completely butted up against each other so that the glitter doesn't escape, then I will remove the adhesive and attach that down to the card. Now before you do that, you'll add your shaker element, which since I have the glitter out, it's going to be glitter again for this project. Besides, the glitter looks a bit like some snow, and this looks like a little snowy scene once it's finished. So this is a very quick and easy way to add a shaker element without having to go overboard and make a full-blown giant shaker card. It's just a fun little card. And I'm using mostly the elements of the kit. So you see it looks like a little pile of snow. Really cool. Well, this video is a little longer, so I apologize for the length, but having 6 extra card ideas I thought would be something to interest you. Thank you all so much for joining me for this video. All of the supplies are available in my online store. You can go to my blog, jennystampsup.com, and click Shop Now to purchase it. This kit is currently on clearance, so this is a wonderful time to grab and save. Thanks so much again for joining me today. I'll see you in the next video.
Thanks for watching the video. See you next time.